So Vicky, do you have loose skin? How have you been dealing with loose skin? Did you have surgery? Tell us about the loose skin journey. Wow, there's literally nothing there. I mean,
There's nothing. There's nothing.
200 pounds. Today, we have a special treat because Vicky has agreed to be so gracious and give us a few moments of her time on a Saturday. You know, Vicky, how do you like to say it?
I've shed.
She has shed over 200 pounds, 203.8 to be exact. All right. And how is it that Vicky has been able to maintain such an enormous amount of weight loss over such a long period of time? And so this is what y'all been asking for. So we're going to get into that right now. Vicky, welcome.
Thank you.
So before we really dive too deep into this process, I would love for you to just kind of give us a synopsis of, you know, what your experience has been as it relates to your holistic wellness journey. And then while you're doing that, I'm going to go and grab one of your interviews so people can go and watch the full story. But just so you know, if someone's brand new, who are you?
Well, my name is Vicky, as you can see there. I live in Central Florida, and I have been fasting every single day in some form, predominantly now in intermittent in maintenance now, since August of 2018. And throughout this entire journey, like many of us, there has been challenges, there's been victories, there's been experiences throughout my journey that could have derailed the average person, but throughout my journey, like Chris said, I've shed, not lost, because I don't want to find it, over 200 pounds while also midway becoming a widow and having to recalibrate my lifestyle, mindset, and everything. And really the reason why I started intermittent fasting in the first place was because where I was at a weight of almost 400 pounds at 5'11", I knew I was looking death in the mirror. And I had recently, not long ago, lost my two grandparents who were my only remaining family close to where I live. And like I said, I truly felt that I was approaching death if I didn't take action to start that day. And honestly, like throughout the entire fasting process, every single day, I love it. It's my sense of stability and my happy place, really. Like it's my happy place every single day, because I feel like my mindset where I am now compared to where I was is night and day. Absolutely night and day. I'm the same person, but I'm not the same person. I feel I'm like Vicky 2.0. And this is a feeling, a mindset, a sensation, overall way of life, an outlook of life that I would highly recommend for anybody that's just like stuck in that rut of like, I'm always going to be stuck. And I help people with this too. It's a mindset shift. And without going on too far of a tangent, that those historical beliefs that were given at such an early age will define you if you let them. Mm-hmm. If you wake up one day, you realize this isn't going to define me. I'm not going to be like labeled as per family friends from way back when. Don't let that chain you in, and realize your potential through this process. And I'm getting goosebumps right now because I'm like, I'm in the fields. I'm like, it will change your life in the most dramatic, awesome, challenging, easy, but difficult way. And I recommend it for everybody. Absolutely.
Just out of curiosity, just to, once again, those who just don't know who you are yet, mm-hmm. What was the main method that you used to, shed that much weight? And what was the period of time that you did it?
Well, like I said, I started in August 2018. I reached that end goal of where I wanted to start to transition into a maintenance rather than a focused weight loss effort. It was my 2-year anniversary, actually. August 2020. And that's amidst what 2020 had to bring. Like, I was like, sorry, again, I swear a lot, but I was like, whatever. It was like blinders on, let's go. Like, I got a goal to accomplish. And I didn't, because I was still fresh a widow. So I was like, come on, trauma world, we got this. And I was like, like not bulldozer, but like in my mind, I was envisioning like, we're just going to push through this. And there's things coming at us. Let's push through. And I imagine like mama duck with like her ducklings and like, come on, let's go. Like pulling me and my kids through this mess. But super focused all throughout 2020 and hit over 200 pounds shed in August 2020. So 2 years it took me to do it. It was predominantly one meal a day after I became fat adapted. But I knew, and I tell my folks this anytime I get asked this question, my method changed so much. I was constantly bopping around, even though predominantly I usually, and even in maintenance, like I do those daily check-ins, and I'm sure you advocate for it too, of like, you wake up in the morning, how am I feeling today? What challenges do I think are going to be coming? What is my initial plan? What is my fail-safe? Like, if this doesn't work out, am I going to be okay and happy with doing this method instead? It's been, for dedicated weight loss efforts, it's been predominantly OMAD. And if I have a moment of like, whoa, this is challenging, like for example, when I became a widow and other really like stressors, I'll just be like, I can't handle food coming into my body without it tipping me over my point and like going back to like binge Vicky. So I knew that when a challenging situation comes up, it's like I just go into an extended fast. If I tend to eat later, I'm deliberate, I'm aware, I'm conscious with no distractions, because again, my distracted mind will just, it's like, oh, I'm looking over here, and this just keeps going. This reflex just keeps going and going. And that we're not going backwards. We only go forwards. So I did do like a significant amount of extended fasts as well. My experience with extended fast was anywhere from like 2 to 3 days or a week or so. My longest was 14 days. I would love to be able to go longer. I just think it was a time thing at that time. And I didn't really need to go longer, but I know I feel really good if I'm stressed when I keep it at an OMAD, like if I'm just really anxious or upset about something upcoming or responsibility, even bills. Like I've had moments where I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Whatever. I'm just like, and we're going to OMAD it. But then when I am in that process of putting the meal together, and this is kind of tied into what I was talking to you about before with my experience recently traveling for school and learning about the blue zones and how the preparation component of your meal is part of your journey as well. Like, what is your intention with the food that you're putting together for yourself, and maybe not just for yourself, but for your family, and how much that also matters too. What you use to break your fast matters. But all that together, I've over time, and again, this is what I really love about this journey, is that I'm in control. I'm not on anybody else's timeline besides myself. And that I like that slow, like the turtle progress, like the tortoise and the hare story. It's like, I'm okay with this because this feels permanent. The more I'm attentive to these methods and the reason why I'm changing this habit or mindset or food eating behavior, it's going to be more of a permanent change that I know I'm going to be, benefiting from long term.
So one thing that I'm hearing you say, which I don't know if I ever caught this before, but you're telling me that when life happened to you, you leaned into fasting versus using food as a coping mechanism.
Yep.
Like that's huge, because most people lean back into old habits. You said no. And like the thing that's interesting is I was telling my brother Steve, this is a long time ago, like if you fast when you're dealing with like, relationships, breakups, divorce, deaths in the family, et cetera, it doesn't seem like it, but it actually will be easier. It'll help you. You know what I mean?
That is exactly right. That is exactly right. My mindset in the process of being a widow, like I said, I had people all like, and as I think we've kind of covered this before, I sob really easy. I'm very like, I wear my heart on my sleeve kind of person. Yeah. And that moment of being told, hey, your husband is in the process of his body is dying. And I knew it was like, no food. It was like an invisible, like this is a no-go zone besides water.
Wow.
Vicky, eat this. And I'm like, nope. Cause I knew like every time somebody was like here, I saw in my mind, big Vicky back, just crying, eating. And I was like, that's not a promising future. That's not honoring his memory and legacy and things that we discussed and goals that I told him that I was going to meet for, not just for myself, for my kids' future. I was like, nope, that's backwards. Not going that direction. Nope.
Tell us about the healthy wage experience, because I don't think everybody knows what it is and how it works.
Okay. Healthy Wage is a website app that allows you to bet money on yourself, on your journey. So it's investing in yourself. And as I've told them through the interviews and the commercial that they flew me up for winning and featuring me, it's not a matter of if you win, it's when you win. And truthfully, like, I'm sure I could have been done with my healthy wager sooner than what I initially checked out as, but I knew if I didn't extend it, then I wouldn't win it at all. So I was totally fine. Again, I was on nobody else's clock besides my own, and I extended it twice, but I won. Like, I still won. I made my healthy wager. I checked and met the goals. And I knew I wasn't competing with anybody else besides me, but you pay into it every single month. And it goes towards your pot that you will get back, so long as, again, you keep consistent with that and you meet your goals.
Excellent.
And the people at Healthy Wage are awesome. Like, they are so fun and just true, kind, caring people. They want everybody that signs up to win. They want you to win. They really do.
That's amazing. I think it was a pretty cool concept. We actually did something similar. We called it the Biggest Winner Contest.
Yeah.
It was maybe back in, like 2019 or something like that. We did that. And I mean, a lot of people do it a little bit, like even in workspaces, it's like, hey, let's see who can lose the most weight, winner gets the pot type thing. And it's actually something that I want to do again, which is why I wanted to kind of talk about it and see the benefit. But obviously that was something that was like icing on top of the cake, right?
Oh yeah.
Just a great bonus just to help kind of give you that extra little nudge or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's really about, once again, that consistency, that motivation, the determination, and your headspace, staying focused on where the goals that you need to accomplish.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I really want to touch on today was it's 2022. It's almost August 2022, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost been another 2 years. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, did I interview you at your 2-year mark? I think I did.
You did.
I don't remember if that was our first interview or our second one, though.
That was the second one. The first one was in January of 2020.
Right. Okay. So
I'm a fangirl. I remember these things.
I feel pretty good about remembering the second interview, but the first one I didn't remember when. So now here we are, almost 2 years later, and people always ask me, Chris, what's going on with Vicky? What's going on with Justin? What's going on with Steve? Like, let's get an update. How is it that you were able to shed over 200 pounds, and now 2 years later, you haven't gained it all back? Like, what's the key?
Nope. It's understanding and appreciating through the process of shedding the weight, taking my time, having daily check-ins. I've adopted my mindset. I lean more towards like kind of Buddhist philosophies of practicing awareness, lots of meditation, to the point where I really absorb and maybe am even hyper aware of the moments from day to day. And all these, they say time flies when you're having fun, right? So
yeah.
Throughout this whole process, having that playfulness, awareness, and appreciation, that attitude of gratitude throughout this entire journey has made me appreciate and not take this for granted, not have oh my gosh, I can't wait until I shed this. I can't wait until I get into these pants or am this size. No, nope. This feels good today. I feel, look at myself in the mirror and be like, I have a different headspace where I can be like, yeah, mama, woo, and like check myself out and like feel good, like goofy, silly, playing in the moment and having this mindset shift again completely from where I was when I initially started. This is permanent. Like this is who I am now. And I have that gratitude, awareness every day, every day
Mm,
for
that is
everything.
that right there. That's so key, right? So it's living in the moment. It's
Yep.
once again, like you said earlier, taking the positive with the negative, and just fully immersing yourself in the overall experience. Then
Mm-hmm.
having backing that up with a mindset that says, "This is my new norm." Like
Yep.
I'm constantly moving towards excellence. This is what I do now, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
and when you combine these elements, your lifestyle shifts. And then so
Absolutely.
you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because you're going to be, you're not going to eat the same food. You're not going to be able to do the same activities. You're not going to be able to, you know what I mean, maybe interact with people the same way. You might even need to find new friends, or, different family members to interact with.
Yep.
And
Yep.
being open to that journey. I think that's the biggest key, but I also think it's one of the biggest hurdles for people, because what they want is they want to be able to live the same life that they've been living and get the outcome.
Yep. I see that a lot. They want to get that permission to continue what they were doing before while expecting dramatic life changes, and you can't have that. It doesn't happen.
You also talked about like energetic awareness. And this is not something that we should like breeze over, because what people don't understand is positive reinforcement is so important. Affirmations, right? Positive affirmations are so important, but you can also create negative affirmations for yourself.
Oh,
So it's important to focus your energy and your attention, your words on the positive, and just leave the negative alone, right? There's this
mm-hmm.
exercise that I saw. I've seen it a couple times now. I love it. But it basically talks. I think there was a snippet of it from a TED Talk actually, and this
Yeah.
doctor or PhD was talking about the brain doesn't know how to it can only it focuses on the negative, right? The brain just it focuses on the
You
negative. I'm
see,
sorry, no,
no,
it
can't.
skips the negative. It doesn't. I'm sorry, I said that wrong.
You're right.
It doesn't focus on the negative, right? So okay, what he said was he was like, don't think of a pink elephant,
I
right?
saw that same TED Talk. Yep.
Yeah. And so the important part is, and what I want you all to get, even though I messed it up a little bit,
Oh yeah.
if your affirmation is, I don't want to be fat, I don't want to be sick, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be whatever, what you're actually saying is fat, sick,
Yep.
disease.
Yep.
So you got to reword your affirmations and say, I'm going to live a long, healthy life. I'm going to be free to travel and experience. I'm going to build healthy relationships, right? Because the mind doesn't understand the don't. And this goes for like children and animals as well. When you're training animals, don't stand on the couch. So now he's going to get on the couch.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
That's been a
So
very one of my favorite parenting hacks is from a very early stage because before they were born, I went to school for teacher education. Like that was my initial, degree process was to be an art teacher, and I have been. So I knew the child psychology that relates to adult psychology of if you say like don't sit on the couch or don't do this, like that's all the kid hears. So I say, can you get off, or like you say what you want, like you
mm.
man of say what you want, like
And you know what? That is a great habit to adopt and apply across the board. And it's a
yep,
little more challenging than what people might think. When you start being intentional about your words, you see how much of the negative that you put
yeah,
into, your thoughts and things.
yep,
So
yep,
I think that that's an amazing takeaway. If you get nothing else from this interview, which I'm sure they've
yep,
already gotten some
yeah.
amazing things, right? But if you can focus on just that one thing, you will
Mhm.
see outcomes in your life that you never
Oh
would
yeah,
have expected,
oh yeah,
honestly.
oh yeah.
When it comes to like dietary habit,
Mhm.
because I know you had mentioned keto earlier,
Yep.
like what's that like now for you?
Right now I call myself, except it's also flexible. I've been meat free since 2014, and I had my gallbladder out, so I don't eat meat at all. However, I've been vegetarian, prefer vegan, but with two kids that I don't say you have to blah blah blah. Like I let them, if they want to have, have opportunities to have meat or whatever. I let them. So I'm predominantly in my household. I'm predominantly vegetarian. I do have times where I am vegan, but it's a very flexible, very heavily plant-based, very heavily plant-based. Even more so since recently in June, I was studying abroad for 2 weeks in the blue zones in Ikaria, Greece, and being immersed in that culture with understanding of like how your food intake is a important part of longevity and health and wellness and all that. There was even more so the emphasis when I came home. And of course I had the affinity for and appreciation for lots of vegetables and fruit and stuff. I feel like that trip just kind of like turned up the intensity a little bit more. So like, I've since that trip have developed more of an appreciation of creating things at home, keeping things as simple as possible, but also being practical and present in the process of putting the food together. Like I was talking about before, of appreciating, like, because I know I have a lot of anxiety in the kitchen because of obviously where my history has been. And throughout my weight loss journey, I was very intentional in not spending a lot of time in the kitchen, again, to avoid going like back down rabbit hole. So it was very like, it was kind of like a love-hate relationship. And I knew getting back into the kitchen had to be, playful, exploratory, not stressful. So I was deliberate and changed and adapted things. And I still continue to change and learn things that I like to make, that I feel good about, that make me feel good, that, sustains my life, my children's life at the same time, that we all just enjoy. And throughout this entire process, I feel like it just gets more and more refined, but more meaningful as time goes on as well. And it's hilarious. And anytime I've talked to other parents and stuff, that they talk about like their kids' favorite food. And if I have the opportunity to be like, hey kids, what do you want me to make for dinner? Both of them are going to be like, Mom, make curry.
Yeah.
They're even to the point where they like, we almost every single dinner, I have sliced cucumbers and they have to have salt and a little splash of apple cider vinegar. And my kids will fight over, not like, but like, they'll like stick squabble over making, getting the rest of the cucumber slices. I'm like, I'm just having this moment here. I'm just looking down. I'm like, I got to just do one of these.
Yes. Because so many, see, this is what I don't hear from you is excuses. Like throughout this entire time, you just don't make excuses. We had a saying back in the day: if you want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't want to do something, you'll find an excuse.
And I'm a necessary brat.
There you go. Like we can all make up excuses for everything, big or small. It doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, what's the outcome you want? Right? Do you want your child to be one of them children that only eats chicken nuggets, especially knowing that, chicken nuggets are slowly killing them? Like seriously, it's not even real food, right? Or maybe through your actions and the things that you're showing them, because children watch, they're very observant. So they see your changes, they see all the outcomes you've garnered from it, they're learning, and now they want to make those changes as well, because like really beautiful. People need to remember when they were children. Like everybody thinks, children they're so they don't be thinking. They're just everything. No, like they're observant. They think, they process, they have desires. There's certain things they want in life. And if they see you as a way to learn and a springboard to get to the desires that they want in life, they will follow you. They really will. I want to, open up the floor, take a couple questions. If you all have questions, make sure to throw them in the chat now. We're going to do a couple questions. I know I saw a few questions previously, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit. And let's kind of, you know what I mean, do a little interaction. That's why I wanted to go live, to be able to do some interaction here. So out of curiosity, since I'm late, has he touched on loose skin?
Not yet.
We have not touched on loose skin, but what I could tell you is when somebody loses 200 pounds, the traditional method, the amount of loose skin that they have is enormous. So, Vicky, do you have loose skin? How have you been dealing with loose skin? Did you have surgery? Tell us about the loose skin journey.
Well, I'm going to ask, like, first off, is it appropriate to show like midriff?
I don't think anybody will have a problem with that.
Okay. All right. Because I love showing it. And I'm sure you guys have talked on your channel about the term autophagy. If there was an opportunity to petition or sign up to be the spokesperson for autophagy, I'd be like, me, pick me. Okay. So first off, I'll show my arms. This is my arms. No surgery, like no skin removal surgery.
All natural. Okay.
None. So, but the thing I'm most proud of, and this has even gotten better since we last talked as well, on my midriff, this area right here has gone.
Wow.
That's 200. Like that's it.
200 pounds. Wow. There's literally nothing there. I mean,
there's nothing.
200 pounds. Like, if y'all, what I want y'all to do, I want you to go on YouTube and I want you to look up loose skin. If you find somebody who's lost just 75 pounds, you will see so much loose skin, right? Mm-hmm. And also from people who do like a lot of weightlifting and cardio, they have tremendous amounts of loose skin. Yep. That is incredible. Yep. And this is what we've been talking about for so long, autophagy. Yep. So the fact that not only because, you lost that initial amount of weight, but because you've been continue to maintain your fasting regimen, it's tightening even more.
Oh yeah, big time. Yep.
Autophagy,
all right. You need a spokesperson because I'm your girl.
Hey, autophagy, if you're listening, hit her up. Vicky, do you do any type of coaching, counseling, consulting?
I do. Yep. So my business, my second business that I'm building is called The Fasting Focused Lifestyle. And that's fastingfocusedlifestyle.com is my website. I'm actually almost done with my schooling through Arizona State University online to get my bachelor's in health sciences and healthy fitness science to become a board certified wellness coach through the WLC after graduation, and maybe even potentially after that become a licensed nutritionist in the state of Florida. So I actually have in my network of like holistic, integrative kind of medicine here in Central Florida, I'm close friends with a lot of chiropractors who have sent me people to guide, inspire, coach because they knew me from the program that I did at their office before. And they're like, she's doing something completely like revamped and so much better now. And they've reached out and said, hey, come the time after graduation, if you want to do consults here, we can set you up at an office, our desk, whatever.
Wow.
So my options are, I'm still figuring out what that path looks like, but I get goosebumps thinking about it because this is already connecting with people around the world. Like, and it's my thing has always been from the beginning, realizing the power. It's like, I keep seeing Dorothy and like, you have the power and you didn't realize it from starting this whole process, like waking up and seeing myself in the mirror and realizing now where I'm at now, like this all started because I just kept going and didn't stop. Beautiful. To the point now where I'm able to connect and help guide, consult, and support folks from all over the world. And it's not just, oh yeah, I'm inspired by you, Vicky. Like the messages I get from people, and it brings me to tears sometimes when I see them say things like, Vicky, I've been silently watching you, and because of your journey, your story and stuff, that they've changed their life, their outlook, their health status and stuff. And that, like, as you can see, like, that gets me worked up. And that's because of I started on my journey, and that's having that ripple effect to other people and other people's lives. Like, I just want people to know that they can live. They don't have to be emotional, like, eaters for the rest of their life. There's a big, long, beautiful life out there for you to lead, and you can have it. You can absolutely have it. So the big thing for me is being the change I wish to see in the world. And, like, honestly, like, again, I apologize, but telling diet culture in general to fuck off, like, that's what I'm interested in. Like, gotta tell you something, gotta fix it, quick fix. No, like, show up for yourself. You deserve it. You're worth it. And you can, you absolutely can change your life for the better.
Let's see. We got another question here. Dirty fasting life. Dirty fasting. What is that?
Nice.
down and dirty. Okay.
Dirty.
What do you say to people who refuse to fast past 24 hours because they are convinced they are hurting themselves?
Learn. Educate yourself on what is going on inside your body and understand that it is a beautiful, natural process that the body knows exactly how to do. If you have stored body fat on your body, that's food, that's energy that your body can use. And as a side, as a little nerd tangent here, your body has, obviously we know, for the most of us know, there are 3 forms of fuel that your body uses: fat, protein, or carbohydrates, well, glucose, right? And the most preferred form of fuel for the body is fat. Doesn't matter, your body doesn't care if it's dietary fat or if it's body fat, your adipose tissue. There are, for every 1 gram of fat, whether dietary or body, 9 kilocalories of energy for 1 gram versus 4 kilocalories of energy for proteins and carbohydrates. So fat is the preferred form of fuel. If you have it on your body, let your body stay in that extended fast longer, and you're just going to see incredible benefits from it. Not hurting yourself.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love the nerd. People like different ways, things broken down different ways. People learn different ways. You clearly have an affinity for this. And I think that you're heading in the right direction with, your goal. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay. Vicky, they trying to figure out your age for having such great skin.
I love this. I am 38 years old. Young, I should say. I'm 38. Old, like, whatever.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Like, why do we even say that? 38 years old. Why do we even say that? Someone, right? We talked about, like, words and just being intentional with words. Someone taught us to age ourselves verbally. And so now that we have this program that runs, and every year we age ourselves. Every year. And then they also taught us to associate age with sickness and illness. So now we're slowly aging and causing ourselves disease just by saying, hey, I'm 38 now. I'm 39 years old now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy.
That kind of, like, that mindset, like, I have, again, like we were talking before about the mindset, I tend to not take things personally anymore. And, like, where I used to be so emotional and reactive before, things just, and videos and stuff that I've made and shared across, like, my channels and things. And when people say, like, I literally had a lady on, I don't remember where it was, but it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh, where she was so insistent on trying to tell me not to lie. Vicky, don't lie. Just admit that you had surgery. You gotta, you hid the scars. And, like, old me, that would have been, would have pissed me off. It would have been something that I take offense. And I stopped for a second. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take that as a compliment, because if she is so insistent that there's no way this could be the way that I achieved my losses with without surgery, I'm like, wow, that's a great compliment. Thank you.
Compliment.
And I have that same mentality. Any insult that I see, like, when I post my stuff, any insult that I see, I'm just like, okay, thanks. Thank you. And any reply back, if I reply back, it's always wishing them well. And if they come at it and say, like, oh, blah, blah, like, that's so unhealthy, I was like, Actually, I'm the healthiest I've ever been, but I appreciate you like sharing concern for my health. I was like, thank you. You know, big hugs, like truly genuinely, not like,
Yeah.
haha, big hug, not just like if I'm met with negativity, I'm not going to respond with negativity because what
Right.
is that going to do? Like,
It expands
it's
it.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, rise
Yeah.
above it.
You're on the right track. So
Yeah.
Stephen and Stephen more than John got the same type of responses. People were
Mhm.
so upset. As a matter of fact, if y'all go and look at Stephen's second interview where we do the before and after, they tried to say the picture was photoshopped. They
Oh,
was
I've been
like,
told Photoshop too. Yep.
you know
Photoshop.
what I'm saying? Like,
I was like, do you even know that I have no idea how to do most
right.
online stuff? I'm like, that's a compliment. I was like,
Yeah.
you think I'm that talented to know how to do Photoshop? Woo! All right. Thanks.
Let's see. We'll take this last one and then we're gonna wrap it up because I don't want this, you know what I'm saying, get too long. What's
Oh,
your
yeah.
suggestion? What's your suggestion for how to get started and stay consistent? Just joining. Make sure to watch the replay. I'll say that. But Vicky, what's your suggestion for getting started and staying consistent?
I mentioned this in my podcast, in my first few episodes, and I called them my 3 pillars. So the pillars that I have are you have to have a solid reason why. Why are you doing this? What is your pushing, like Indiana Jones boulder? What's your why? What's your why?
Right.
Your why, hold on to it. Let it be massive. It's got to be huge. It's got to be something that makes you cry. At least that's what I feel. 2, you have to educate yourself on the method. You don't have to go like full nerd like me, or if you want to, go for it. Find out what is going on with this process and understand what you're stepping into. And 3rd is you have to find what's going to keep you going, like what's going to be your pleasure center of this. What's going to be something that keeps you like feeling your mojo throughout the process. Whether it's keeping yourself challenged, like throughout this process, I'm very amateur and I'm not doing the like professional level at all, but I've taught myself how to play the piano and that's been like, what? Set goals and things to improve and, work on throughout this entire process. Because it's going to be where your mindset and hyper fixation towards food, if that's what you were an emotional eater like me, where as soon as you're done eating, you're thinking about your next meal. Like we have to get out. If we want changes, we have to get away from that. Give yourself a project list, collaborate, like what's going to be something that brings you that happiness. So those 3 things, absolutely essential. And they'll grow and evolve and change over time.
Right. They're always going to be changing, which is why it's important to be intentional about documenting your journey, you know what I mean, checking in with yourself daily. And also, as you mentioned earlier, celebrate the little victories. That's very important.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think we nailed it. We knocked it out of the park tonight. Yo, make sure to like the video, y'all. Make sure to like it so everybody can kind of get in, see this. My goal is to do more videos like this, go live so we can interact and have fun. This was amazing. Vicky, please make sure to give everybody your socials. That's a thing now. What's your socials? Like, it's so weird.
It's like, I've got it, and this is an Achilles heel for me because I feel like there's always more that I can do, but I don't want to be like flooding everybody. But my business that I'm going to school for, that I'm in the process of building to help folks to be the change that I wish to see in the world, to help folks get their life back through integrating a fasting focused lifestyle, is thefastingfocusedlifestyle.com is my website. All my links are there. I have Spotify and Apple host my podcasts right now. I'm in the process of catching that up as well. I've got Instagram, not very often on TikTok, but Facebook, I'm definitely on there. My personal page, as you can see my name, Vickys Sharon, and The Fasting Focused Lifestyle on Facebook as well. You can change your life if you want to through this lifestyle. It's beautiful. It's a worthwhile journey that you can do for yourself because you deserve it. You absolutely deserve it.
Facts.
And I'm a hugger. I get virtual hugs.
Virtual hugs. If you all enjoyed this video, once again, hit the like button. Wherever you're following us right now, if you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, make sure to join our AHA family, a healthy alternative on Facebook group. We've got a lot in the works right now, so stay locked in. And with that being said, as always, the application of knowledge is power, and we will see you all next time.